Russia has been involved in several military alliances and operations in Africa over the years, which have attracted notice and generated debate among foreign observers. The presence of Russian troops in Niger has drawn attention recently, since it is anticipated to have a big impact on regional dynamics and the influence of other world powers. The future of U.S. military engagement in Niger has come under scrutiny following the deployment of Russian instructors there on a training mission. This move has sparked rumors that the U.S. may be pulling out of Niger and that its regional calculations may change. In today's video, we are going to be talking about some Russian military officials who just entered an airbase in Niger. We will also see why the U.S. is still engaged with Niger and Chad, despite withdrawing troops from the countries. But before we continue, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the new tourist channel so you get more updates on what happens in Africa. In a recent turn of events, Russian military soldiers have entered an air base in Niger that is housing American troops. This action comes after the military leaders in Niger decided to drive out American forces. The West African nation, which was a vital ally of Washington in its struggle against militants who have terminated hundreds and displaced millions more, was overthrown by military officials last year, and they have now ordered the United States to remove its approximately 1,000 military personnel. In an anonymous statement, a top U.S. defense official claimed that Russian personnel were using a different hangar at Airbase 101, which is close to Diori Hamani International Airport in the capital city of Niamey, Niger, rather than interacting with American soldiers. Russian military action brings American and Russian forces closer together at a time when their military and political competition over the situation in Ukraine is growing more intense. It also raises questions about the fate of U.S. installations in the country following a withdrawal. Note that following the coups that brought in forces anxious to break away from Western regimes, the United States and its allies were forced to withdraw their troops from several African countries. The French military has been expelled from Mali and Burkina Faso, while U.S. troops have recently left Chad in addition to their planned withdrawal from Niger. At the same time, Russia is attempting to reinforce its ties with African countries by portraying itself as a friendlier nation with no colonial past in the region. For instance, Mali has emerged as one of Russia's closest African friends in recent years, thanks to the deployment of the Wagner Group mercenary force there to combat jihadist insurgents. Russia has said that ties with the United States are below zero due to American financial and military support for Ukraine's defense against Russian forces on the invaders' territory. The U.S. official stated that although the official could not confirm the number, Nigerian officials had informed President Joe Biden's administration that approximately 60 Russian military soldiers would be in Niger. Following the coup, the U.S. military in Niger relocated some of its personnel from Airbase 101 to Airbase 201 in Agadez. Airbase 201 in central Niger was constructed by the United States at a cost of over $100 million. Armed drones have been deployed to target fighters for the Islamic State and al-Qaeda affiliate Jamaat Nusrat al-Islam wal Muslimin since 2018. Washington fears that Islamic terrorists in the Sahel would be able to grow in numbers if American military and intelligence resources are not present. After senior U.S. officials expressed worries during a meeting in Niamey in mid-March about the impending arrival of Russian soldiers and reports that Iran was looking for raw commodities, including uranium, in the country, Niger took the initiative to request the withdrawal of American troops. While the U.S. message to Nigerian officials was not an ultimatum, the official said it was made clear U.S. forces could not be on a base with Russian forces. Bear in mind that a two-star U.S. general was sent to Niger to try and arrange a professional and responsible withdrawal. While no decisions have been taken on the future of U.S. troops in Niger, the official said the plan was for them to return to U.S. Africa Command's home bases, located in Germany. Also note that the U.S. is still engaged with Niger and Chad, despite withdrawing troops from the countries. Dozens of U.S. soldiers departed Chad on Wednesday after the military authorities there voiced worries about their presence in advance of the elections scheduled for May 6. The Sahel region is considered the new global epicenter of the Islamic State group. Both Niger and Burkina Faso declared last year that they would be leaving the G5 multinational force that was established to combat Islamists in the area following Mali's lead. The three nations under military rule have formed the Alliance of Sahel States. Note that in 2016, the United States established a drone station in Agadez, central Niger, 750 kilometers northeast of Niamey, the country's capital, to assist in tracking Islamist activity in the area, but in March following Niger's directive for U.S. soldiers to withdraw. Military spokesman Colonel Abdurrahman charged that the United States was objecting to Niger's choice of friends. The U.S. threat of reprisals and condescending attitude were also criticized by Colonel Abdurrahman. It is okay to say that the U.S. ultimate goal was maintaining diplomatic relations with military-ruled nations. As all this is going on, note that General Abdurrahman and Russian President Vladimir Putin recently picked up the phone and dove into talks about strengthening security cooperation. Niger and Russia have agreed to strengthen their military ties in various ways. One aspect is the potential for arms deals, where Niger will receive weapons and military equipment from Russia to bolster its armed forces. There are also plans for Russian instructors to provide training to Nigerine soldiers, enhancing their combat capabilities and operational readiness. This growing relationship between Niger and Russia speaks volumes about the changing dynamics in global alliances. It's not just about military might, it's about sending a message. And the people of Niger are amplifying this message loud and clear. The deployment of Russian private military contractors, notably the notorious Wagner Group, is also a possibility. These mercenary forces could be stationed in Niger to assist in counterterrorism operations or provide security for Russian interests in the country. Intelligence sharing between the two nations is on the table, facilitating cooperation in areas such as identifying and monitoring terrorist threats. Beyond the military realm, Niger and Russia have discussed broader, multi-sector and global strategic cooperation. This encompasses various areas, including energy, mining, and infrastructure development projects. Russia's overtures in these sectors indicate its efforts to expand its influence and economic footprint in Africa, leveraging Niger's natural resources and development needs. Bear in mind that U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken visited Niger for the first time just a year ago. He described the country in West Africa as a model of resilience, a model of democracy, and a model of cooperation. A coup by the military toppled the government 5 months later. Niger is now severing its military connections with Washington and demands the withdrawal of U.S. troops. They want to follow the soldiers of the former colonial power, France, who were driven out in December of last year. A high-level Russian delegation also visited Niger, led by Colonel General Yunus Bekgevurov, the Russian Deputy Defense Minister. This visit carried significant weight and marked a crucial milestone in the deepening ties between the two nations. The presence of such a senior Russian official signaled Moscow's keen interest in strengthening its influence in Niger and the broader Sahel region. During the visit, the main topic of discussion was how to improve defense sector collaboration. The Nigerian government reported that an agreement aiming at strengthening cooperation in the field of defense between Nigerian and Russian officials was signed. However, the exact contents of this protocol are still unknown and covered in secrecy. There are conjectures that the accord may facilitate amplified military assistance, cooperative training sessions, and the possible dispatch of more Russian advisors or private military contractors to Niger. The visit by the Russian delegation carried symbolic significance, as it occurred mere months after the military coup that ousted President Mohamed Bazoum in July 2023. The warm reception accorded to the Russian officials by the military leaders signaled Niger's shift away from its traditional Western partners and its embrace of Russia as a new ally in the region. Reports have surfaced indicating that Iran is also actively looking for methods to increase its presence and influence in Africa amidst these shifting alliances and power dynamics in the Sahel region. Niger has shown promise as an Iranian partner in this quest because of its strategic position and abundant natural resources. Significant uranium reserves are found in Niger, a strategically important resource that might be useful to Iran's nuclear program. Even though Niger has said that it denies rumors that it signed a covert uranium deal with Iran, future collaboration is still a possibility. Whatever the case, the arrival of Russian military officials at the airbase in Niger marks a significant development in the geopolitical landscape. Their presence raises questions about the intentions and motives behind this move, as well as the potential implications for regional dynamics. While some contend that Russia is using this as a calculated maneuver to gain ground and strengthen its influence in Africa, others think it may be a component of a larger scheme to balance the presence of other superpowers in the area. Whatever the underlying reasons for this development, it's obvious that it might affect not just Niger's destiny, but the future of the entire continent. The entrance of Russian military personnel into Niger serves as more evidence of the intricacy of international relations and the interdependence of world affairs. It serves as a reminder that a country's actions can have far-reaching effects that frequently go beyond its boundaries. It is imperative that the world community keeps a close eye on and evaluates these developments as the crisis plays out. To ensure that any potential tensions or disputes resulting from this scenario are addressed calmly and constructively, diplomatic efforts, open conversation, and transparency will be essential. Do you think the presence of Russian forces at the airbase in Niger marks a significant development in the geopolitical landscape? Let us know what you think in the comments below. Do not forget to like this video and subscribe to the New Tourist channel. Thanks for watching, and see you in our next video.